Hello, I am NovaSC, and I'm going to cast this game, which I named quickly after playing it because it was crazy and I enjoyed it a lot. And hopefully that doesn't give anything away. It's against Mocha, as you saw there. I should hide this. No one saw that. Ignore that. Hopefully you've forgotten the numbers. I would probably forget the numbers if I were in your situation. So that was covered up quite nicely. Yes, as I pointed out before, I'm against Mocha, and I'm in the top right, and looking blue and everything, and yeah, let's put that down. I hate those things. So, this is another game on, I think it's, what was it called? Overgrowth? Overgrowth. Overgrown. Something like that with grown in there. I've played some really cool games on this. I either die really fast because of these large ledges against, this large gap here against Zergs, or, get some quite nice long games, as you saw by the number there. Hopefully you've forgotten that by now. Yeah, quite some good long games. So I'm beginning with my standardly placed pylon to allow my zealots to get in this little slit and prevent proxies from wrecking me. He's going straight for a pylon down here, which is a bit strange. Might be thinking he's against a Zerg, or maybe he's well. Now I obviously didn't see this part because I don't scout because I'm me, and I didn't realise he did this. So this is cool. This is a cool thing to look at. We're seeing this both for the first time. I should try like moving the screen without dragging, with like doing this. If I hold down control, I can do this with arrows, which I'm going to do from now on because that seems a bit more clean. I'm going for a gateway, whereas he is at a full 16 supply and he hasn't built anything. And here comes down a Nexus, so he's going for a Nexus first. Arrow keys are annoying, I'm not going to do those anymore. I'm over here with my gateway, looking very standard. Probes are about the same, so I'm obviously going to have the advantage in gas, he's going to have the advantage in minerals. He has to go for a forge, so depending on how much of an advantage he gets out of this, it's hard to say who's going to come out favourably from these openings. I haven't obviously gone for any sort of aggression, so forge isn't going to pay off unless he gets some very fast upgrades, and they contribute well to a battle. Interesting, not using these to help them wall off, because you can build, that counts as like a structure, so you can build here and then all this area off, which I usually do against Zerg. I'm sure there's a good reason. Maybe close to the Nexus as he wants that, maybe. Oh, and he can't attack this, you can't attack from in this position. Yeah, that's quite cool. It's quite a cool placement, I like that a lot. 2 gas very early. I obviously cancelled my first select, so I always do that because I'm cool. Getting my sentry out. More probes coming in nicely. And is the what on earth? Cybernetics core, so this seems like a really exposed position to build a cybernetics core. Nope. Obviously can't remember any of this because I didn't see it, cause as you can see, and neither of us have scouted each other, I think. Yep, neither of us, we're both in the complete dark. This is excellent. Alright, pylon's going down. The most important thing in here is here's going to be the probes. He is ahead in probes. I've got my Nexus down a lot slower than his. I'm obviously going to have a gas lead though, as I said before. We're going to see how that plays out. See what he does with yeah, okay. Obviously feels very safe against Gateway. This is very... what on earth? So he sees nothing? A 4-gate could walk in right now. Well, not I mean not right now, but in like a minute. So this obviously, I think this dives to a 4-gate. Strange pylon placement continues. Yeah, this definitely dives to a 4-gate. Imagine like 5 stalkers now. Are you going to take that down? No mothership core. Yeah, okay, so this is very risky, whereas my build, it's got the sentry, it's got the mothership core ready. It's just going to lose the Nexus, but still stay alive against 4-gate, as is the plan. the first scout of the entire game comes down. Gonna see that there. Very fast Nexus. I did acknowledge the fact that that was very fast because I saw those gases were down very early. Yeah, it's going to be 12. He's ahead by 12. That's because I usually cut probe slightly to get a first immortal out. And the mortal's not going to be very helpful at all against what I'm against here. Again, adjusting my mic. I really should learn to adjust my mic before I start. Sentries. I'm going to obviously be cutting sentries. I saw those 2 stargates, so Stalker's going to be warping in. I'm going to be making observers because obviously I'm not going to be making immortals. I probably could get away with a few more observers. Very useful against Phoenix and such. I think I remember in this situation I assumed they were going to be Void Rays and he was going for an all-in. But in hindsight, as you can see, he's making a few Phoenix. He's making, I think, just a few Void Rays to stay alive. Cannons coming on in. Units still greatly favouring him. He's ahead by 10. That's going to favour him even more once he starts harassing with these air units. Unless I do something about it. Warp Gate coming in. Blink coming in. So his opening is clearly giving him an advantage against me. And he's catching up in gas now. I don't know how else I could have played this out. Maybe I probably could have cancelled the immortal. I definitely blink, don't I? Because technically Void Rays could be walking in right now. Templar Archives don't need that for Archons and things. Yeah, there's not much else I could really do about this, but except that I'm going to be slightly behind. I'm still 8. That's 8 probes behind. So it's not awful. It could be worse. He's making quite a few Phoenix. A 3rd and 4th Stargate. Wow! I didn't realise he got 4 Stargates this early. Insane. Templar Archives was already in. I have 3 gateways. Templar Archives. I have as many tech structures as gateways. That's really cool. If you count the 796 score, I have more tech structures than gateways. But that's just what I need because I need these fancy units to deal with the Phoenix. Phoenix poke in. First another charge, maybe. Yep, there we go. We start picking away at those shields. For some reason I have a probe over here, risking his life for no apparent gain. Building the pylon there just in case I want to take a 3rd. He is taking a 3rd, have I realised. I have realised he has a 3rd, so that's probably the reason I'm trying to take a 3rd myself. Units probably even! They're even! Very nice, he's cut probes for a long time, so I've actually caught up. He probably should have taken this 3rd a bit longer and not cut probes, otherwise... Because if he kept making probes, he would still be far ahead. I've now caught up. Things aren't looking quite as good for him. With the exception he has a lot of Phoenix, and I don't have enough anti-hair at the moment to deal with that many Phoenix. Though I do have Storm, I do have feedbacks. I'm getting the Storm just in case he makes more Void Rays. But otherwise the feedbacks are going to be more than enough to deal with the Phoenix. The feedbacks are going to deal with the Phoenix quite nicely. Now our Fleet Beacon, all powered by this Arstosis Pylon. Playing passive as I am, I'm not going to notice any of these lovely attacking opportunities, but no, never mind. And quite a few probes are going to go down. I was ahead at one point there, in probes, but now I'm absolutely not. First overcharge going down, that's a lot. I'm 10 behind now. Some feedbacks, yeah, good feedbacks, that's nice. Just a few though. Would have loved a bit more. Oh, Phoenix actually dying, very nice. More feedbacks. More feedbacks, more feedbacks. Ah, it's annoying how High Templar are so slow. Losing a probe there, getting a cannon. And really cannons aren't that effective against this many Phoenix. In fact, I'm so far behind now. I need to be chrono boosting probes. Probably should be attacking now, just as a desperate attempt to try and catch up now, because that is a massive lead for him, and he's going to be pumping out more Void Rays. He's getting +1 weapons. His Fleet Beacon seems a bit early considering he's not using it, but there we go. And here comes the push from me. 2 bases, going to be throwing down a 3rd base while I attack. Probably intending to, yeah, that lines up so nicely. I think I did this in intention of recalling back. Hallucinating a few stalkers to make him shit himself. that's quite clever. Doing a small amount of damage. Probably using storms wasn't the best idea there. For now, I'm going to just use feedback against Phoenix because they're too fast to get hit by those storms. I'm going to try again. They are clumping up a bit, so this seems like a better idea. It did a lot of damage, but shields, it's all shields. Oh dear me. Gonna be losing my mortal. Not too worried about that though. Trying to kill off a few units, but it's not paying off at all, and units lost. Not looking good for me. Holy shit, that is not looking good for me. Third base gone down, and I'm trying to catch up desperately. I have storm. I have lots of the tech I need. Now adding on the gateways, getting the upgrades. Upgrades are going to be favouring me because he's getting one upgrade at a time, opposed to my two at a time. So I have something going for me at least. I have a nice bit of tech on the ground, but his air army, it's going to be very cost efficient, especially these Phoenix. Very cost efficient, the Phoenix, compared to my units, which aren't going to be able to harass him very much. Well, the Archons could technically, because the Phoenix can't lift them up, and they're faster than Void Rays, so I guess they could sort of attack, but it seems silly. This is really risky. And he's walking on in, and one cannon's going to do nothing. He's going to get some few kills. Might kill a Phoenix? Oh god damn it. Didn't even kill a Phoenix. Getting chased away by these Archons look like quite well, at least. Units still favouring him, but I'm trying my best to catch up. I've just been constantly making probes. As you can see, I've overqueued them here, and that's just so that I absolutely do not miss anything. Corona boosting on the probes as much as possible. You can see lots of Coronas going down. More gateways. I realised that this is going to be a high economy situation, so I'm going to use as many gateways as possible. I have no intent of teching to, obviously not Robo, I have no intent of teching to the Stargate, because if I do that I'm going to be behind. I'm going to be fighting an uphill struggle. And he's now getting Tempest, I see. Right click, there we go. Left click. And he's getting some Tempests in. They're pretty useful, small numbers I guess, but I mean, I think Void Rays would probably still be... I say Void Rays probably still better at the moment, considering if he gets a spread with them. Tempests aren't really going to be doing anything. They can snipe the High Templar though. That seems pretty good. With observers, he can exploit range on the Tempests, but he doesn't have any observers. Yeah, I'm not sure how much I like this many Tempests. Definitely a bit premature, definitely too premature on this fleet beacon. And yeah, a lot of people don't realise quite how much of a late game unit Tempests and Carriers are. It's very easy to die getting them, even this is quite soon. Especially obviously against Zerg you're going to want Tempests because they're good against Broodlords and things, but not in PvP. Unless I had Colossus. Basically what I'm saying is here, I don't have the direct anything that Tempest directly counter, so they don't seem like a particularly good choice at the moment. But we'll see how it plays out. I'm actually taking a base more than him now, so I'm going into 5 bases, and this is the way I need to play. I've got the more mobile army, he has the slower army now, because he's adding in more Void Rays and Tempests over the Phoenix. Phoenix are not going to be helpful in the late game situation because they die to a single feedback, which isn't cool. If I get all these bases in nice and early, well, earlier than him, he can't really do much about it, because if he moves his slow army to attack a base, I can just counterattack and kill multiple bases before he kills the single one. Which is why I need to keep my army in the middle of the map to get ready to counterattack, if appropriate. I'm making this move now, I believe, because I'm pretty much in the dark, aren't I? I don't know where his army is. Using a nice hallucination scout while I do this. But I think the idea was to try and shut down this base, but he has too many cannons to deal with that, and I obviously have the threat of him coming to destroy me, so I recall out. I think it's looking pretty damn good. It really does need observers. Does he have a robo? No, observers would be so helpful because he could snipe all of these observers with just a single observer and that cloud of Phoenix. not making the best use of his Phoenix, but obviously is he still ahead in probes and everything? Still ahead? He's not ahead in probes anymore. I'm going absurd with my probes. Um, the fact that I'm ahead here doesn't mean anything. He's still fine. I have far too many probes, but that's just the way I like it. I'm only doing that because, like I say, I'm playing the sort of Zerg. I have the role of the Zerg in this PvP. I have the fast army, and I need to take many bases. So I was moving into 2 more bases than he has, which is absurd, obviously. But he's taken another one. I took the gold base last because gas is the most important part of PvP, so I'm not really worried about taking a gold. And this base is quite hard to defend because ledges and stuff. Though this one's pretty damn hard as well, to be fair. So just have a few Stormers. I have a full 4 Stormers. That's my favourite number of High Templar for a PvP. I've got a bunch more, but they're going to be Archons, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure they're going to be Archons. I wait for a while. There we go. Wait for a while so they don't get trapped. And there's some Phoenix. Happy days. Feedbacks are going to be shocking here. And look how quickly they die. They just disappear. That was the best trade. Units lost. That's evening that out already. Wow. He didn't really want to lose those so uncost efficiently, if that's the right word. But I know the reason he killed them off, because he needs to build more Stargate units. Not Tempests though. Definitely not so many Tempests, because they don't do much damage. Well, they do a lot of damage. I worded that wrong. They don't do a lot of area of effect damage, so they aren't the most cost efficient compared to carriers in a 200-200 army. They're obviously better than having I did a video on this, didn't I? Because these cost the same supply as Void Rays, so I guess in a massive army it is nice to have some Tempests. So I'm starting to like his decision a bit more to get these Tempests in, but I think carriers do more damage. I'm not sure. I have to get my facts straight. Actually, getting some Stormers for this army would be really nice, because as you can see, no process air units do any splash damage, so getting some Stormers would be really nice. He has a shit ton of... Wow! He has so many units. I want to see his army supply. It's 50% bigger than mine in minerals. Not too different in the gas. I think that's because of all these Archons. And I am lagging the game because this is such a crazy battle. This isn't a good engagement for me. He's over lands I can't move on to, but he's just staying in a position where I can storm him. Unfortunate for him. This looks really bad for me because of all these Tempests just wrecking my army. And retreating, I take a few hits as well, a few volleys. Losing a bunch of units there. That's why Tempests are doing pretty good, actually. Pathing being really annoying, making me lose an Archon, I think. There we go, that's really bad. Units lost. Quite, sort of even. 2,000 out. If I hadn't have lost those few units retreating, it would be fairly even. Tempests, yeah. I'm liking these Tempests more than I thought I would. Making a lot of Stalkers because I am shitting myself, making as many units as possible. All those gateways are going to be kicking in. That's not the right unit too. Ugh. And he extends a bit. Stormer's going to be really useful here. Especially the Void Rays, massive warpins of Stalkers. And I just have too many units. My reinforcements are just too good. And this is perfect Zerg logic here, how they beat Protoss. Their army may be way weaker, but they can reinforce much faster than the Protoss. Look at this. Oh, this is brutal. This is brutal. Stalker's doing a really good job here. As I was trying to look at before, more Void Rays. I'll try again later. Now's the time. Being repelled by those Void Rays. I want to see how many gateways I have. 13 gateways. I could even have more. I have 13 gates. That's quite a bit, but even as many as, I don't know, 20 gateways would be cool. I don't have quite enough money at the moment. Let me just see the units. Drop down to 78. Interesting, we both got exactly the same units. Number of probes. I'm spending my money a bit better than him. I was. Our incomes are both ridiculous, so within a few seconds, our money jumps to 1,000. Lots of cannons in arbitrary places, I like that. Well, that's it's not particularly arbitrary. I'm being really harsh, I'm sorry. More Tempests coming in. They are cost efficient, I'm liking them a lot. Using a Dark Templar Shrine. I guess that's to harass. I would just like, I really want him to get High Templar because just a few High Templar, look at all this damage that the storms are doing here. Really paying off for me. And he just pushes in, he thinks his production of units can compare with mine, but it just can't. Obviously thinking he's further in the lead than he actually was, and Probe's obviously going to be the same. Units lost favouring me greatly now by 4,000, so I'm now ahead and I have more bases, so this is looking in my favour suddenly. Out of nowhere I am suddenly in the lead. Just my magic 4 High Templar are already in the army, these should be Archons logically. Make them into Archons, dude. Or maybe I've made them for the next battle, that's why there's exactly 4. That's just far too forward thinking for me. Good lord. I'm gonna make those into Archons. I take a 7th base, so I'm gonna be obviously 2 bases ahead of my opponent here. He tries to take it, he's gonna be greeted by not a very nice surprise. Does he know about it? He doesn't know about it, this is gonna be a horrible surprise. Oh, there's Void Rays and shit there, that's not nice. But there's nothing much he can do about it, other he can snipe away with his Tempests. Not in the simulator, that probably wasn't the best use for them. Really should have observers. He really should have observers. Because I have very good map control. I mean, map vision. Look at all this vision I have. Thanks to these towers, these observers. Even if I didn't have the towers, I still have that vision. That was a really bad example. Blinking under the units and unnecessary storms because I had this anyway. But good lord, really paying off. I did contradict myself a little bit in saying I wasn't going to go air, but Void Rays don't require too much tech. They don't require the fleet beacon. You can get them quite quickly without sort of putting yourself at risk for too long. So I did throw down a few Stargates to get some Void Rays out. Really good complementary units for the army I have here because Stalkers can clump up a bit at the back, even with Blink. Archons definitely clump up a lot. Void Rays, they clump up. The words are this bad. They clump up, but they're all attacking at the same time, unlike the Archons, which sort of run around, not in range, not doing any damage like these Archons at the back. Whereas the Void Rays, yep, dealing all their maximum potential of damage, doing really good. This is where me building this base here is paying off. All he can really do with his units is kill it off. If he went to attack my army, which is stuff far too big for him anyway. If he went to attack my army, I'd start mining from this, which is not what he wants. And I could just retreat in that situation. Void Rays charging up, doing a lot of damage. Sending his zealots in, pretty good play, but no observers. You can see the issue of this. He has no observers in his army. I'm clearing this base out. There's only 3 left for him, but 5 for me. He had no observers. I have a massive warping of DTs. He's not going to get anything done here. DTs, in my opinion, one of the best defensive units in the game. And this is the killer blow. For the first time in the game, that's not the right key. For the first time in the game, I take a massive lead in probes, and he calls the GG. So that was I enjoyed that game a lot. I hope you did. I've never seen this sort of mass air style before, and I've never seen a build like this. I guess it was a Forge Fast Expand in PvP work out so well. I like the Nexus First builds that I've seen Duck do, and I've tried them out a bit, but one like this, which seems a bit clunky, but it worked out so well in the end. Yeah, I'll bring you some more games like this, hopefully on this map, because this map seems crazy. Hopefully I'll play some pretty cool games on this again. I'll see you later, goodbye!